Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. And Jimmy Kimmel went back on the air last night. And The View talked about it this morning. And I have to say, I agree with the ladies that it hit the points that it needed to hit. And I have to say, it was not what I was expecting from his return. He seemed on the verge of tears the entire time. And I think that um, I think he was genuine about the the feeling heartfelt for the thank yous that he gave to the people that don't like him, and that don't watch his show and don't agree with him, and probably called for him to be canceled, but by the network, not by the government. And so, um, to me, it was surprising. I do think that he did a wonderful job taking, and I think it was Amy Alyssa Fairfarley Griffin who said this. I hate agreeing with her, but he took the moment off of himself. That it wasn't about him. That it was a moment that was bigger than him. And I think that as emotional as he was to the entire thing, um, and as courageous as he has been to sort of poke fun and sort of challenge the current regime and its first incarnation, um, as well as this one. I don't think that he wanted to be the catalyst for having to try to save the First Amendment. Um, I think that was a responsibility that sort of was put on him because of the circumstance, and I don't think that's what he wanted or wants to be, and he doesn't want to be the poster child for it, and he doesn't want to be the spokesperson for it. But I think what he did in his monologue, in that sort of deflection of saying, this is why it's wrong, this is why these people who disagree with me were courageous for standing up, and and he the the right wing is still like, he didn't apologize, he didn't say he was sorry. He has nothing to apologize for. He didn't say anything that was incorrect. He didn't even say anything that was mean. um and the obvious heartfelt reaction to um the man's murder, and then his wife's forgiveness of the murderer. I didn't know that Jimmy Kimmel was Christian. I'm not, but I don't begrudge anyone. Um, and I think those moments are so palpable and real. And the sad thing is, the the bullies on the right, the idiot MAGA trolls, are just going to point to him and say that that's weakness because he got choked up, and they don't realize. And I think Joy said it about these asshole dictators that call themselves strongmen who are actually really weak and thin-skinned. It's the same thing. If you're going to make fun of a man because he has the ability to be emotional, it's just showing your own shortcoming, that you don't have that ability. Um, and I had this conversation at lunch, obviously, weirdly enough, at work, that the two things that we're missing the most in this country are empathy and humanity. Like, it's not that difficult, and it doesn't really take anything away from you to just not be mean. Um, and I don't think Jimmy Kimmel is mean. It is his job as a comedian to poke fun at things. But if you look at the episode that actually got him suspended, that Brandon Carr took issue to, he all he was doing was pointing out that Trump didn't have any empathy for the murder of Charlie Charlie Kirk. I don't even like saying his name. Um, he was pointing out that when he was asked about it, right, the Trump just kept talking about his big beautiful ballroom, and Charlie Kirk didn't believe in empathy. I know, and the nitpicking, he thought sympathy was the better word, but it's the empathy is the whole point of being able not just feeling sorry for someone, but being able to put yourself in their shoes. And how would you feel if that were happening to you? That's a vastly different thing than sympathy, and it's an extremely important thing to be able to, you know, ex- um, I don't know, express your own humanity, right? Like that, it's the whole idea: do unto others as you would have do unto you. And if like, how would you feel if that happened to you? Um, so it I'm uh, I'm thrilled that within the first 2 minutes he worked into the monologue. They're going to have to open the Epstein files just to take this off the news cycle. I don't know what's happening on. I haven't. I don't know what's happening on the conservative news. I haven't really paid attention. I've been busy today, um, and so I don't know what I don't know what the universe is talking about. But I think it's somewhere over 7 million people watched that, or it was like 6.3, and then plus whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of people watched that. And I think that I think he did a wonderful job, and I think that by him being that um, much of himself and bringing that much humanity to it and his own feelings and vulnerability makes it that much more powerful. Um, but the people without empathy and without humanity are just going to make fun of it, and they're the deplorables that we've always known that they always were. So I don't know how you're going to reach them ever. Um, but that's uh, I laughed and I shed a little tear through that monologue last night, which went on for 2 segments. Um, and then I don't know why the fuck Glenn Powell was on there, because that was like you can't get more milk toast than Glenn Powell. I have zero interest in that man. Um, but then the ladies talked about um, the Orange Toddler's speech at the UN yesterday, and he's a terrible orator. But I just want to point out, because they showed the clip, and I've been saying this for 2 days, that escalator stopped as soon as Melania stepped foot on it. They hadn't gone up anywhere. There was an escalator right next to it that was running. They could have very easily said, "Hey guys behind me, excuse me," wandered over and taken that escalator up. There was a security guy standing right at the bottom of it. Not real great problem solving skills evidenced by those two who are leading the charge. That would be the First Lady and the President of the United States. Oh, it's broken. So, this place sucks. Somebody's getting in trouble. Instead of saying, "Oh, it stopped. Well, that one's working. Let's get on that one." Solve your own problem. And he's your and so anyway, that was that was every time I see it, I'm frustrated by it. It's like, just get on the other escalator. It's working. I also think somebody in that building was fucking with him, and I kind of hope that that's true. Because it really would have been funny if they were like, "Oh, that one's working. Let's get on that one," and that one stopped too. That would have been hilarious. Um, anyway, I don't know what else I had to say. I don't. It's you know what? It's late. It's not really. It's 8:45. But I'm tired. And and tomorrow, to another is a whole morrow day.